Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you a review of the Huda Beauty foundation. I'm also going to be filming a short tutorial for eye look with Huda Beauty Obsessions with one of the palettes, and I'm going to be showing you what the Winter Solstice highlighter palette and lip minis look like as well. So here we go. So I put a dab of the Kat Von D concealer on my hand here, and I'm going to use a brush and I'm going to lightly rub it in so that it makes my eyelids a little bit lighter than they are because they're looking a little dark. So I'm just going to dab just a little. As you can see, a lot lighter than this. See, a lot lighter, and I am going to have better pigmentation when I add the eyeshadows on. They're going to stand out a little bit more than they would have if I kept my eyes dark and gloomy. Okay, and now for the eyeshadow. So today I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Mauve Eyeshadow Obsessions. I'm super excited to use this palette. It's a little bit different than some of the other colors I have. I also have the electric palette, but I'll show you that another day. So these are the colors that are in the Obsessions palette, and I'm super excited to create a look for you guys today. It can be kind of like a holiday look because you have this really great sparkly, like, well, mauve burgundy color, and I think that you could create some really beautiful Christmas looks with these, or holiday looks. So let's get started. So first I'm actually going to start with this light color here, and I'm going to actually put it all over my lid as well as part of my brow line as well. Make sure it's clean. So just dab a little. Wow, just for like a light color and just dabbing just a little, it's actually really pigmented and I can already see it on my eye. Sometimes with these light colors, when you add them, you don't even notice them on your eye at all. It doesn't even look like it made a difference, but this actually makes quite a bit of a difference. It actually lightens it up a lot more. I love that I don't need very much of it either. Perfect. Can you tell that it's a little bit lighter than before? Probably should have done one eye and then the other, but I notice it. It looks great. Okay, and then next what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this color here into my inner lid and into the inner corner. I am going to use this brush. Hopefully you can see a difference from this inner corner to this inner corner. It's got a little bit of shine and it's a little bit more pink now. Okay, so inner lid's now done. I have this cute little shade here. It's like a light kind of pinkish, and then it has like a little bit of sparkle to it. But it's really great for the inner corners. You can see it. Hopefully you guys can see it. Okay, so next what we'll want to do is I'm actually going to blend maybe, let's do this one because this one's really nice. Let's do this color, and then we're going to kind of blend it into like from the inner lid, but not quite the full inner lid, from where this shade starts. We're going to kind of blend it outwards, and we're going to blend it towards the outer lid, but not all the way. So for this, I'm just going to use actually a blending brush. I'm just make it easier for me to blend it. Oh my god, this one's really pink. And it's okay to get this color a little bit in the crease, just because it actually blends really nicely. And it's light enough that if we use a darker color, honestly, it will blend and it will look really good if we do it like that. So first eye is blended, just a little off, but let me fix it. There we go. It's better now. Okay, so first eye is blended. So far with these Obsession palette, or this one in particular, the colors are really great. They're really pigmented. The brushes pick it up so easily. You don't need very much. And they blend really, really nicely. The colors really stand out and are really pigmented as well. So you don't really need to put a lot on the brush in order for it to really catch the color on the eye. Okay, so for the crease, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a darker color. I think I'm going to do, let's do this color. It's really nice and kind of darker. It's not as dark or as purple as this one. I think this one or this one, I haven't decided yet, is the one that I'm going to use for the outer crease. Or the one I use is sparkle. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I like to do things as I go. Sometimes I don't really know until I actually start treating the look that I'm like, oh, this will look better, or I want to maybe do it darker, I want to do it lighter. I kind of just decide as I go. So I'm going to use this one for the crease. Again, you don't need very much. I think if you put too much on the brush, then you're going to end up having it really dark, and it's going to take you longer to blend it in. Okay, so now that we have that part of our crease blended in, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this color here, so this like sparkly, darker pink one, I'm actually put that on the outside lid. I'm feeling sparkly today. Let's go ahead and use this brush. We might need to use our fingers. I'm not going to be too worried about it being super pigmented. The reason for this is because I am going to use a darker shade for the outer lines of my crease, because I do want it to stick out a little more. You know what? I think we're going to have to use our fingers for this one. Yeah, that works way better. Some of the ones in her other palettes, like the Rose Gold as well as the Desert Dust, you do have to use your finger, or well, it's easier to use your finger to apply them. Okay, so you can kind of see, don't worry about if it's a little messy down here, because we can clean that up after. Let's just get this eye look done. So if you do make a mess, you can just clean it up all at once instead of having to worry about it. Hi! Hi! Oh my gosh. So this is my cute dog. Hi! His name is Robot. He's a Pomeranian Yorkie. He's really cute, really lovable. Hi! Mwah. I love you. You're so cute. So distracting because he's so cute. Anyway. Okay, so let's do a darker shade for the outside. I'm actually going to use a different brush. I'm going to use this brush here. I'm actually going to use, I'm going to use this shade. I'm going to just blend it in. Just a little onto the outside. You could also use a blending brush but I find I have easier control with this one. And then I'm going to probably use a blending brush after, but I just didn't want to too much in one spot. I'm going to use a blending brush and I'm just going to dab it a little bit too. And then I'm just going to blend it slowly. And then what we can do now is we can start to actually clean it up a little, put some eyeliner on, put some lashes on, some mascara, whatever you need. We're going to do that, and then we're going to get on to the foundation. Okay, so now the eye look is completed. I have my lashes, my eyeliner, as well as mascara, and I drew my brows. So now let's get started on the foundation. So I'm going to prime half my face with the actual Huda Beauty primer, and then I'm going to leave the other side unprimed. I know there's some people out there who don't like to use primer, so I wanted to show you if it even made a difference whether you used it or not while using this foundation. So let's get started with the foundation. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the primer. Obviously, I'm going to prime half my face. So let's get started. Actually, let's see. I'm gonna put just a dab on my hand. I've never used it, so this might take me a second. I'm gonna start with like a little bit because I don't know how much I actually need of this. Like I said, this is a complete first impression. I haven't used any of it. It smells good. I don't know exactly what it smells like though. It almost smells like creamy. Not sure if my face is red here from the actual primer. Makes me a little nervous. I do have fairly sensitive skin, so there is some things that can either make my skin break out or kind of get red like this, but it's kind of going away, so I think we're okay. Personally, this type of primer, I mean, it's nice. It's not super heavy or anything. It's really fragranted, and I think I prefer when it's not. But it actually feels really good, but we'll see how it feels with the actual foundation. So you can already kind of see my skin is a little bit more, I would say like naturally shiny on the side, whereas this side is a little bit dull. So maybe that will make a difference, but we'll see. Okay, so for the foundation, my color came to Latte 300N. I did swatch a little on my hand when I did get it, and it was the right color. I also put it right here on my chin, but I haven't done a full face of it yet, so we'll see how it feels. I'm excited to show you guys how full the coverage is. It's said on the Sephora website that it is medium to full, but from what I've seen on other reviews, it is definitely a full coverage foundation. So I'm going to use a beauty blender. I actually didn't buy the brush. It was sold out, and honestly, I don't think it really makes a difference with the brush. I have a ton of brushes. I didn't feel like there was a need for me to spend any more money on a brush. I prefer a beauty blender anyway, so I was figured why spend the money on, I don't know how much it was, like 30 bucks or something, but why spend that money on a brush that I might not even use? So that's why I didn't do that. So I'm going to use a beauty blender to blend this into my skin. Okay, so this is the packaging of the foundation. It's really nice. I think it's plastic, which is good because, well, for one, I drop things a lot. Also, when I travel, I don't want to have to worry about my foundation breaking and then or cracking or something and being worried about it. So I'm glad that that's the way it is. Also, it looks like there's quite a bit in here. So pull off, don't twist. Well, duh. Let me see it. You know, I swatched on my hand and I still couldn't figure it out for the life of me. So, good job. So far, I really like the packaging and everything. Let's give it a try. So I'm just going to put a bit on my hand here. So far, it's pretty thick, I would say. I'm used to using lightweight foundations like the Too Faced Born This Way, Makeup Forever, Ultra HD. I also use the Fenty Beauty for when I have oily skin. So they're kind of a lot lighter when you put them on, but I usually put them on my hand. So this one seems a little bit heavier already, but let's see how full the coverage is. I'm excited to do this. Okay, so I've got my beauty blender ready. Let's start with the primed side of my face. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm just gonna dab a little, and I'm actually gonna start with this area of my skin because this is where most of my acne scars are. Wow. That was not very much at all. And you can barely see any redness in my skin anymore, as well as you can't really tell that I have those acne scars there. And I haven't concealed them either, so I'm literally doing this with just a primed face. Wow! This is like amazing. My regular full coverage foundation is the Too Faced Born This Way. It's more, has the coconut oil in it, so it's maybe a little bit more wet feeling, I guess. But this one totally gives me like a matte finish. And I'm glad I honestly don't need very much of this. Sorry if I'm blocking you guys, I'm actually able to see this in action. I'm actually really impressed with this. Okay, so one side of my face is done, and this side of my face isn't. So this is the side with the primer, this is the side with no primer. So far, it's definitely full coverage. Like my acne scars that were here, as well as on my forehead, are almost not visible. The color was pretty much spot on. It's a little light on my forehead, but to be honest, my forehead is a little bit more oily or dry. It's pretty much a combination, and it's really hard to maintain. But so far, like full coverage, like I almost feel like I don't even need to conceal, especially under my eyes, because it is pretty like even. I'm really impressed. I'm actually really excited. Okay, let's finish the other side. Okay, so I have a really red there, as you probably noticed earlier, but it is pretty much non-existent now. I'm gonna probably layer it on. I don't really like doing that. This is already full coverage as well. I'm not gonna layer it on, but perfect. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, so I've done a full face. In all honesty, it is definitely full coverage, so a lot of the marks that I have on my face, and this is just me using a beauty blender and using minimal. I usually don't try to use a lot, but I think that if you wanted to like apply a little bit more on the little spots that you're trying to hide, I think that you could potentially do that, and it would full coverage. I have no concealer on right now, and like my under eyes are already lightened up. They blend into the rest of my skin. I feel like I don't need to put a lot of concealer on. So far, this is absolutely amazing. There is a difference between, oh, I've got foundation in my hair. So doing one side with the primer, and I don't know if this is just this primer or if you use any primer, doing one side without, I find that one side without the primer, my skin doesn't feel as clean, I guess you could say. So primer definitely makes a difference in the way that it feels. From the way that it looks, I didn't really notice too much of a difference, but if you're looking for something to make your skin feel a little bit cleaner and that it's not soaking into your pores, use a primer. I have acne prone skin, so normally I wouldn't do this, but I did this for the sake of some of the people that asked me to do it like that, because they don't always use primer, but I do recommend it. The primer, however, I feel like it applied a lot easier to the side with the primer as well. Is it heavy? I wouldn't say it's super heavy. It's not as lightweight as Makeup Forever, but Makeup Forever is a medium coverage, but for a full coverage foundation, this isn't very heavy on my skin. I think I've worn heavier foundations from other companies and other brands, but so far it feels good. I didn't notice any creasing or cracking in any specific spots, and it blended really well. It's nice because it's a matte finish. It's not as oily or wet as the Too Faced Born This Way, because that one has the coconut oil, and I find that it's a little it has a little bit of a sheer shine to it, whereas this one is full matte, the full coverage. I'm really impressed with it. I'm really happy with it. I'm excited to continue using it. Huda Beauty outdid herself with this. She formulated a great foundation. Of course, everyone else is going to have different opinions, but my opinion is I honestly am really impressed, and I'm excited to keep using this. And I don't like her chart compared to, so using her color comparison chart from, and then using my color IQ from Sephora, it was all spot on. Like I said in my previous video, I was a little worried that it was going to be too dark, but to me, I think it's perfect. I might just need to blend more on my neck, but like I'm really happy with this. I feel like I don't even need to conceal, guys, and I got like really nasty under here, but this is like good. I could probably do like a little bit more in this eye, because this eye is really good. But for concealer and like to conceal first and then put foundation on top, I feel like I don't even need to do that. This is great. I'm really happy. I'm satisfied. I'm glad I made this purchase, and I'm glad I didn't wait too long and that it came back in stock in time for me, so I would highly recommend it. But let's finish up the rest of the look. I'm going to do some contouring, I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting, and then I'm going to move on to the Winter Solstice collection. I'm going to show you guys that. Okay, and last but not least, let's get to the Winter Solstice collection. So I'm going to start with the highlighter, because it's beautiful. It's always so hard to decide which one you want to use for the first time. So I think I'm going to use Arctic Glow, because when I was swatching in my previous video, that one was my favorite. It stood out the most to me. I'm super excited to actually put it on. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to use Arctic Glow. Perfect. Ooh, it's just as beautiful as I thought it was going to be. Okay, so how about for the bridge of my nose, let's use a different color, because this one is going to be way too intense for the bridge of my nose. So I'm going to use Winter Glow for the bridge of my nose. It's so beautiful! Dang. Okay. So let's get started with the Strobe minis. I'm just going to use them by themselves to show you what they actually look like. Okay, so this first one here is Charmed. this first one is Charmed. It's really nice. It's not super bright or anything. It's actually really subtle, more like a lip strobe. Actually, this is honestly the first lip strobe I've ever put on. But it's really nice. And it really goes with this look with like the pinks and the purples. They smell really good. Okay, let's try the next one. So the next color we have here is Hypnotic. So Hypnotic is a really nice like purplish color. It goes perfect with the Arctic Glow. I'm in love. So the next one we have is Star-Crossed. This one's just like your plain, like kind of white one. I think it would look really good over top of any color. You could put it over any shade, and I would think it would look really great. It would just add a little bit of like shine and sheerness and sparkle. I even really like this one. Usually I normally wouldn't like the white ones, but I actually really like this as well. These are my first ever lip strobes that I've ever tried on. I don't know why I haven't tried them on sooner. So far, I love the 3 that I've tried on. So we've got one more. So the last lip strobe we have here is Bewitched. Okay, I am really impressed. This is a really great color too. Like when you're looking like at the actual like bottle itself, it doesn't look like this is the color that's going to come out of it, like at all. And then when you put it on, you're like, whoa. Didn't see that coming. But no, it like matches Arctic Glow, like spot on. It's perfect. So far, I'm in love with the 3D Winter Solstice highlighter palette, as well as the 4 lip strobe minis and the foundation and the Obsessions. So far they've been really great. I love them. I don't have any complaints about them at all. The foundation still feels really great. I've had it on for a little while now. It doesn't feel super heavy or anything. It feels like normal when I put on makeup anyway. It doesn't feel like it's weightless and that I'm not wearing makeup at all, but most of my foundations don't. But this one feels really good so far. No complaints, doesn't feel heavy, my pores don't feel clogged. So far, so good.